Hi everyone, First Warn 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on our cold Friday. How long is that cold going to hang around? Well, at least through part of the weekend. So there is an end in sight. What do we need to know over the next 7 days? Well, today we're drastically colder compared to yesterday. We had that first warning in place. It's going to be lifted this afternoon after I do this because we have felt the cold shock, and it'll be to the warmer part of the day. So the cold air shock to the system, it's here. It's very cold out there. You're still going to need to bundle up if you're heading out and about for the remainder of the day, but the weekend looks to be quiet. We will have a warming trend, so that's some good news, and there will be some sunshine mixed in there with that too. So should be an overall kind of nicer weekend compared to today. Then we look ahead towards next week, the holiday week. A few showers will be possible and temperatures overall will be mild. We're going to be mainly in that upper 40, lower 50 degree range, which is well above our average for this time of year. So this weekend, we're still cold tomorrow. Upper 30s, we're around 31 today. We bump up around 7 degrees by Saturday. It's still cold. The good news is there'll be some sunshine, so that will kind of help with the coldness a little bit at least. And then by Sunday, we've got a nice warm up. Upper 40s, around 48 degrees. We're back above our normal. There will be a little bit of cloud cover, though, that comes with Sunday, partly cloudy conditions. Now, if you are heading to the Chiefs game on Saturday, kickoff is at noon. If you're going out early, early bird gets the worm. If you're going out to tailgate, it could be as cold as actual temperatures in the teens if you're there kind of before the sun is up. But it could feel as cold again as the lower teens due to a light breeze, 5 to 10 miles per hour. It could feel, a couple degrees colder than that. So keep that in mind. By kickoff, around lunchtime, temperatures are going to be above the freezing mark slightly. 34 degrees at kickoff, mid 30s then at halftime, and then upper 30s by the fourth quarter. Like I mentioned, a wind between about 5 to 10 miles per hour could knock a few degrees off this, so you're still going to need to bundle up and maybe need those sunglasses too because we will see some sun. By the time we get into next week, we usher in a few general systems or weather systems that are going to be moving through the region. Still fine-tuning those systems because we're still several days out. But right now, we have some very low-end chances for some rain. 20% chance Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then come Thursday, a slightly higher chance at just 30%. So really not looking at a big system moving through at this time, but just a few small systems that could bring some light isolated shower activity, and temperatures will be warm enough to keep this as rain for the entirety of the time. So that's also some good news. If there is going to be precipitation, let it be some light rain. Right now, our Etna First Warn 5 weather cam showing sunshine out there, but it is cold. Temperature-wise, we're in that mid-20s to the upper 20s. KCI, it's 26. Downtown, too. And then a little bit warmer in Olathe and Leaf Summit at 27 degrees. The winds, luckily, have been dying down over the course of from this morning, I should say, to this afternoon. This morning, we had those gusts to 30 miles an hour. Feels like temperatures were around the lower single digits for many of us this morning. So it was cold. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still cold now, but not quite as cold as it was this morning, thankfully. Our winds 5 to about 15 miles an hour at this point. I think it becomes 5 to 10 later this evening, but wind chill values still in the teens and into the lower 20s. This is kind of where we're going to stay for the rest of the day eventually, until we get through the overnight and those winds really die down. So high temperatures today, upper 20s, low 30s, most of us at or below the freezing mark. 31 in KC, 33 in Garnett, Lacine, Butler, around freezing in Warrensburg, Harrisonville, Paola, coldest in the north at 28 in Maryville, and then 29 in Bethany. So our normal high temperature, 41, we're about 10 degrees colder than this. It's a cold day out there. The next couple of hours, those temperatures will fall from the lower 30s eventually, and then we will see those temperatures fall into the 20s through the overnight. It's going to be another cold morning tomorrow, as I had mentioned, especially because, let me go back so we can take a look at that low temperature tomorrow morning. There we go. Because we are going to have people coming to the Chiefs game and know that it is going to be cold. Upper teens, lower 20s, For reference, we were around 15 degrees this morning while it was breezy. It's not going to be as breezy tomorrow, but we could still feel like the lower single digits out there tomorrow morning. So, or I should say the lower teens, sorry. So we're looking at another cold morning, and then we eventually have a warmer afternoon compared to today. We'll be into the lower 30s. Saturday, we're back up into the upper 30s. 40s roll around by Sunday. Monday, we're looking at much warmer conditions, low 50s, and really most of next week is going to be in that upper 40, low 50 degree range. As I'd mentioned, our normal high temperature for this time of year is around 41, but by this time next week, it's going to be probably around 40. So well above our normal by about 5 to 10 degrees plus. We will, though, see cloud cover usher in with those systems, as I had mentioned, the few small systems that are going to be passing by. So it is going to be a rather kind of gloomy Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe a little bit more sunshine peeks out on Wednesday, and then gloomy again on Thursday. So really this holiday week, while it's going to be seasonably mild and warm, it is maybe going to be a bit on the gloomy side. The small chance for some isolated shower activity will be in there too. And low temperatures will remain pretty steady in that mid to upper 30 degree mark next week too. So not quite as cold as it could be as our normal lows in the lower 20s, but pretty, seasonably mild for our holiday week. I mentioned a small chance for some of that isolated showers. There's one of those systems that could just skirt on by at some points. This is a longer range model. That's why it looks a little bit more widespread than it actually will be. This indicates to us some isolated showers maybe in our southern area, southeastern half of the KCTV5 region. So that's really just what we have over the next week or so. So I hope everybody stays bundled up today, stays warm. Warmer days are ahead, and I hope everybody has a great Friday afternoon and a great weekend.